And so, the last and the biggest update of the year has reared its ugly head in the form of a beta. A clear attempt to preempt all the upcoming bad things by saying, "But it's just beta, don't judge me." And then still release the same broken things unfixed and have most of the complaints already voiced so they would get shuffled aside for the real release, reducing negative critique. This is why it's important to beat the dead horse and not forget the pile of raw diarrhea that is pushed to the live servers. Funny how betas can be used for PR, isn't it? Of course, I'm not saying Frontier does it in this one. It's just very cynical thought I had. So, pay no attention to it. It's just beta, right? Now, here in the short burst are the things that we're getting this week. First off, we're getting some more contrast, brightness, gamma, saturation, and color correction applied to the game in an attempt to make it look better. Frankly, some of the things do look more vivid, yet others, well, they lose the real feel and are more distorted. Sure, mostly it's a positive change, but I just can't but to help and wonder, was it too much in some places perhaps? Next, we get UI changes. While the bane of my enjoyment, the station UI, has not been changed, the other things, well, mostly the right side panel, gets changed quite a lot. And for the better. Mostly at least. Yes, we get a pretty neat night vision too, but here's the issue. The UI is now changed from almost fully text-based to mostly icon-based. Now, icons are good for saving space, but what they are not good for are explaining what each tab is about. Even me, a player with 2000 plus hours, gets confused by synthesis, cabins, inventory, etc. portion of the ship, and no doubt a new player would too. Obviously, I prefer the old UI with words and not icons, but I'll give this one a chance and maybe it will float my goat. Yet, I'm still concerned about new players. Then, on to exploration. Oh boy, we get quite the changes. Basically, we get a lot of new and wonderful tools, on top of already existing exploration, that will work just as it did before, with slight changes here and there. First, yes, the honk is still around, so that's great. Though the way we scan planets in the system will change a lot. No longer you need to go to each individual planet, you just sit there and scan the system from one place. But remember that impedes you getting a quick and easy access to a certain celestial object that you want to find. Now you'll have to start scanning the system and hope that the one you scan is the marble you want. Of course, the initial scan may reveal the thing that you actually want to scan, so it's not a complete loss, depending of course how the honk will work. Things like Road to Riches will change a lot, be that for good or bad, well, that I don't know, but I will make sure to update you on it because I do enjoy it myself too. But on a positive note, my absolute favorite change is the probing, weirdly, or other planet mapping feature. As I don my proctologist coat, get my tub of Vaseline, I approach the target and spam it with probes to examine it for interesting growths. Though seriously, now that you finish mapping a planet, you will also get unidentified signal source markings on the planet, revealing interesting sites like lava sprouts and other geological things, or even hidden bases or alien stuff. Rejoice, my scientist sistren and brethren, no more needless brute force searching on the planets. No more wasting our time. Finally, even an average Bob can go and quickly find an amazing things on the planets, adding, actually, a lot to exploration. I dare to say, now there is something more to do in space than just hunk, jump, and maybe scan a little. Right then, after that we have some background simulation changes that apparently will be some kind of improvements? I don't know, Yamiks just can't get excited about some random numbers with different text associated with it. Sorry, I just can't get enthusiastic about this. It's just one of the gameplays in Elite I struggle to even comprehend. Oh, and finally we get scenarios. Think of this as basically fleshed out random events. The same random events that we had in the past, but with more voice acting and few more steps. Overall, a positive change for sure, but I would have preferred quality of life improvements over new features. I want my space fart about game to be stable and refined, not with another fancy new bag. Speaking of, as I record this, of course the beta just came out and the connection issues are horrible. The poor server hamsters are dying by the billions. I could barely even manage to film all of this. Yes, it's a new update and yes, it's a beta, but this horrible? No. I have never seen beta this horrible, at least on the launch. Still, credit where credit's due, and there are changes, generally fixes coming to the game, and well, it's nice to see that at least that is being done. Though I would have definitely liked to see a bit more quality of life rather than fixes alone. Still, overwhelmingly I must say, probes are my absolute favorite, and I just can't get enough of probing, cause, well, I guess I have some sort of tendency, but well, regardless. Okay, well, on to the reality. So, this is the first time to my knowledge that Frontier has set out to make 4-week beta and split the release of specific features of it. That was one of the red flags for me. Then, as you look at the roadmap for the releases, you see that important things get released in the first 2 weeks. Then, ships are left for the 3rd week and nothing for the last one. Now, call me delusional, but ship releases are probably the easiest to do. Then again, developers have shown that it is too hard to release even that with Crusader. Still, generally speaking, ship releases are very easy compared to completely new features. So basically, for the last 2 weeks, or half of the beta, it really looks like development team are just stalling for time. So I ask why? And ask yourselves as well, why would they need to do this? But seriously though, everything is just a beta, so I'll take it with a grain of salt, as well as my comments. Still, the patch notes will be in the comments, well, do feel free to share the video around, dislike it or like it, and subscribe if you did.
Oh, come on!
Commander, this is Ailey Hunter, Chief of Security for the COE system. I've got an assignment you might be interested in. Make your way to my command ship and we can talk it over.